remember, our SACCO is nationwide. We want to start straight away. And just what we have prepared for our members, we have a consultant from Think Progress who will be taking us through leveraging an affordable credit to grow our wealth. And remember, today's theme is unlocking opportunities within our SACCO by using our products. So we have a lot prepared for this day. And in there, we'll have some remarks from the board, and we'll also have a cyber security presentation. Today, we are joined with different members from different regions. Early in the day, we saw some of our members from Turkana will also be joining us, some from Kisumu, Mombasa, and even Nyeri will be joining us. To start us off, we'll request one of our board members, David Cyprian CPA, to start us off with a word of prayer.
Thank you, Bwana Director, and I request all members, we believe and pray in the Holy Spirit. Almighty God, we thank you, we worship you for this day, Lord. We thank you for our SACCO, we thank you for our members, thank you for our delegates, and also our entire country, Lord. We thank you as we begin our webinar today. You may be with us, guide us, and protect us. We're also praying for the product of the SACCO members, to give them, our members, the understanding, the zeal, and also the wisdom, so that they can have a good interactive session. In Jesus' name I do pray, believing and trusting in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Back to you, Bwana Director.
Thank you, CPA David Sila, for the prayers. We'll move on, but just to let our members who are joining us from different regions know, we are live in our YouTube channel or Mini SACCO, so you can view us through that. And those who have been able to join our Zoom, welcome very much. And in-house, we have our staff members who are also here with us, our secretariat. We have our board members and our consultants who are here with us. Moving on, we'll welcome one of our board members, Honorable Martin Kioko, to give some remarks. Karibu sana CPA.
Thank you so much, Bwana Moderator. I take this opportunity to welcome all the members to this second quarter webinar. Members, we are so intentional as a SACCO to continue learning together. And this is the reason that we are having webinars every quarter. I take this opportunity as I welcome you all from wherever you are, those in their houses, those traveling, those out of the country, and every other person, wherever you are, to today's webinar. We are learning together, and it is important that we each one of us take a personal interest in learning. We are at different stages of understanding our SACCO. There are those things that we know, there are those things that we wish to know, and there are those things that we need to remember. And it is in such moments when we have this webinar that we give ourselves an opportunity to learn. We are here as one family, as members, shareholders, investors, and brothers and sisters. And as we engage together, as we learn from our own, the Secretariat, especially on the ICT matters, as we learn from the external facilitators, it is important that we, all of us, be intentional as to what we are learning. It is important that we have a focus for learning together. And at this juncture, as I welcome you all to participate, I invite you to have a pen and a paper so that you are able to grasp that which is new and also to anticipate that which you need to know. So I wish to welcome you all And remember our purpose, as today's theme states, leveraging on affordable credit to grow your wealth. Our purpose is both corporate and individual. It's important to ask ourselves, what does it mean to have affordable credit? Does our circle give us that opportunity? Do I understand the products that come with that package of affordable? And that is what the keynote speaker, our facilitator, will be emphasizing on. We have a responsibility, of course, as a circle, to mobilize savings and be able to afford ourselves credit, and hence savings and credit. So in this regard, I'm inviting you members, as we take our notes, as we listen to our keynote speaker, to ask ourselves, am I saving enough? And am I benefiting from the products that are available to me? Do I understand these products? Do I take advantage of this? And even to go a notch higher, how did I become a member of the circle? Was it through the influence of any one of us? And have I crafted my own purpose? And hence, the need for this continuous education is for you to package yourself as a member and to benefit as much as you can. So let us have that focus, that purpose, and I wish you good learning and good progress. Thank you, and back to you, moderator.
Thank you, CPA Kioko, for those remarks, and you have really prepared us that we need to have a pen and a paper to jot down any important points that we may take from this session, and also just to remind our members and staff and board members, in the event that we have any questions, please write them down. We'll be able to delve into them during one of our sessions that we'll be having, a Q&A session. So you can drop them in our chat box, and we'll be able to get back. So let us prepare ourselves, because we're going to really gain a lot from this, because it is through this that we are able to maximize the opportunities that we have, not only in the circle, but also within ourselves. And next, we'll invite our brother, Honorable Peter Nginya Kimani, to also share some remarks from the board. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you, moderator, for this opportunity to speak to our members during this webinar. Good morning, members. I take this opportunity to most graciously welcome you to this members webinar on behalf of the board and the board chair. I thank the Almighty God for the abundance of grace and many blessings that He has bestowed upon Waumini members, and indeed for those of you listening online. I take also this opportunity to thank you, members, for finding time to attend this important webinar. The webinar's theme is leveraging on affordable credit to grow your wealth. I repeat, leveraging on affordable credit to grow your wealth through enhancement of our knowledge and capacity to make better financial management and investment decisions by use of products and services that have been availed to us. The board has played its role by touching the needs of the most of our members, that is, from the corporate individual members to young people and adults as well, and the selection of any product that addresses our desired needs within our ability. One of the reasons that we hold this education forum is to empower you and us, and provide us with information that will equip all of us with knowledge to make the right choices. We have even gone a step further and brought to you experiences from some of the best industry players. Today, we are privileged to have with us Mr. Jacones Ndonge, a seasoned consultant who worked with the Cooperative Bank of Kenya many years. Ndonge has been on the forefront of empowering people. The better of the first quarter of 2025, there was a clip running from one group to another on how men can become powerless when they retire. The clip was made during one of his seminars around here in Nairobi. He is here with us today, and you will benefit abundantly from his deep experience and wisdom. This is our second webinar of the year 2026, out of the 4 webinars that we have during these years. Now, members, allow me to take you through some key highlights of the first quarter of the year. And first, I would want to speak about the loan uptake. During this year's first quarter, the SACCO achieved 88% of the budgeted loan uptake as compared to the last year, to the same period last year, where we hit 65%. This shows that we have an upward growth of the SACCO. May I take this opportunity to thank those members who have continued to patronize our products and services. And I call upon more to come forth to patronize these products. Introduction of Waumini SACCO Home Mortgage. The SACCO, in partnership with Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Corporation, KMRC, has introduced a long-term loan product dubbed as Waumini SACCO Home Mortgage, with a maximum limit of 10.5 million repayable in 25 years, with a multiplier of 5 times, one savings at a single interest rate of 9.5% per annum. I call upon the members to come forth and patronize this product, which will ensure stable habitation. Number 3, patronization of Macau Loan Plus. The Macau Plus loan product uptake is on the increase. During the first quarter of the year, the uptake hit 137%. We call upon the SACCO members to come forth and patronize this product. It is the surest way of ensuring stability. The product has been positioned to augment the current Mjengo loan by offering a longer repayment period of up to 15 years at an interest rate of 13% per annum. The maximum limit having been enhanced to Kenya shillings 15 million at a multiplier of 5 times members' deposits. Number 4, we have mobile-enabled loans. Members are eligible to a mobile-enabled self-guaranteed loan of up to Kenya shillings 200,000, as well as salary advance. And this is an area that most of our members can take advantage of in case of a distress. Number 5, we have the call center working hours. In the interest of ensuring ease accessibility to services, we have extended the working hours of the team at the call center from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. We call upon members to make use of the available opportunities to access this service. Fahariland project. The SACCO is selling a 50 by 100 plot dubbed a Fahari project, and the cost of a unit is Kenya shillings 800,000. We encourage you to take part in this project. A member can use the cost of the plot to secure a loan for acquisition of such. What we mean here is that you can use the property as your security for that particular loan. So if you need to purchase that land, please don't worry about where you get the security. That property, if you don't have the cash to pay one-off, then that becomes the security for your loan. And therefore, you don't have to worry about acquiring it. Now, members, allow me to talk about some economic hardships that the SACCO has been experiencing. Dear members, the country is undergoing hard economic challenges, which are equally affecting the SACCO industry, leading to low loan uptake and the increased default rate. As a way of mitigating the above challenge, we have accommodated individual members by increasing the loan repayment period to 84 months. This is done through a special designed product named restructuring loan. As a SACCO, we shall use all the prudent options available to cushion the members from statutory adjustments that may occur from time to time, while focusing on our obligation of prudent management of SACCO resources. Members, I would wish also to talk about our prospects in the year 2026. Dear members, in the year 2026, the following are some of our main prospects. Number one, we intend to increase patronization of Medicare scheme backed with CIC. Number two, we intend to have increased use of clean water through acquisition of water tanks. Number three, we also intend to becoming ISO certified by 30th June 2026. Number four, we also intend to have increased patronization of long-term mortgage in partnership with KMRC. Number five, we also intend to have increased awareness of the SACCO and the SACCO products in all the 26 dioceses. Number six, we intend to have continued review of our products and services to meet the ever-increasing demand and new expectations from the SACCO membership. And now, members, allow me on behalf of the board again to make some special requests to you. Honorable members, we humbly request you to enhance your deposits and share contributions to the SACCO. This will increase your ability to borrow and also increase your returns on investment. Number two, we also request those without loans to consider patronizing the SACCO loan products. This way, you can start a business or other investments to ensure a stable future with more revenue streams. And I'm sure if you listen to our speaker today, our facilitator, you will hear a lot of insights on how you can leverage on that. Our number three request is that the members will become role models to prospective members and attract them to join the SACCO and thus improve the living standards of all people within Catholic institutions and church at large. And this is the SACCO movement spirit, growing together through access to affordable credit. In conclusion, honorable members, all present in this webinar, I take this opportunity to thank you for finding time to attend this meeting. I thank you and our other stakeholders for your continued support to the SACCO activities. Our unit of purpose and focus is the genius that will take us to the next level. I pray for God's guidance and blessings as we continue glorifying His name through Waumini Sacco, a future to believe in. God bless you. God bless our Sacco. This is from Peter Nginya, board member. Back to you, our moderator.
Thank you, Honorable Peter, for those remarks from the board, the message from the board, and we really appreciate what you have been able to share with the members. The KRMC mortgage, which is available within our Sacco, where we'll be issuing loans that are below 10%. That is a step in the right direction. We also have the Macau loan, which is offered for over 15 years. You can get that loan, pay slowly, and at 13% interest. And also, thank you for sharing on what we are now able to give to our members, the mobile enabled loans of up to 200,000. And also, you have also highlighted on the call center hours that have increased so that we can better serve our members. We also have the Fahari land that are being sold, that you don't need a collateral, you don't need a security, because that particular land will be a security. You have also shared that this year we will also be able to enable our members to access medical covers with CopCare, CIC, and also the partnership with the Rototank, where our members can be able to have some discounts when they get those particular tanks. And you also highlighted that we mark our calendars that June 30th we'll be able to launch our ISO certification, and so many things that you have highlighted from the board, and also those special requests that we enhance our deposits, and so that we can increase our ability to borrow. You have also said that we members should be role models, not only in borrowing, but also in promoting our Sacco so that we can increase membership. Thank you so much, Bwana Peter, for those board remarks. And without further ado, we'll move on to the next agenda item in our agenda items today, which is cyber security. But remember, we'll also urge our members, if you have anything, if you have any question that you would like to ask, you can share it on our chat box. We are live in our YouTube channel, Waumini Sacco. And just to note some of our members who have been able to join, I can see Ivy, we can see Brian Simiyu, Elizabeth has also joined. Karibu Sana. I've also seen Omondi has been able to join. Robert Nyakundi has also been able to join. Abraham has also been able to join us in today's webinar. So Karibu Sana, Bwana Abraham, and so many of us who have been able to join today's sharing. So I'll move on to the next agenda item where we'll be sharing about cyber security
responsibilities and how we can take care of our funds that we've invested in Sacco and other financial institutions. So as you are aware, today we use a lot of mobile banking, and we've come from the tradition whereby the phone number was just for communication. Nowadays, we are using phone number. It's connected to many financial transactions. As a member for Waumini Sacco, we've connected our phones to our accounts in order to deliver our services to you. And in the process, cyber criminals, they found that when they get control of your mobile SIM card or mobile number, that can be used for crime. So we start with the cybercrime overview. And as a SACCO, we've invested in technology. And with this investment, cyber threats always emerge. Cyber criminals will target customers and organizations with the aim of defrauding customers, that is loss of money, reputational damage, financial losses, and also for criminal activities. So here you are saying that cyber criminals, they have a target, either to steal money or cause reputational damage. And the end of it is that there'll be a financial loss. So one of the tactics that is being used is social engineering. And what is social engineering? Social engineering refers to a broad range of malicious activities carried out through human interactions. It uses the psychological manipulation to trick users into making security mistakes or giving away sensitive information. Tactics used include phishing, insider threat, and identity theft. So we are saying nowadays, for somebody to steal from you, they don't need a gun or a knife, but they just talk to you. And in the process of talking, they'll extract quite a number of information from you. As you are aware, for mobile banking, you only need to know your ID number and maybe the phone number. That is only what cyber criminals need to know from you. And since they don't have this information, they'll come and talk to you nicely. And in the process, you reveal this information without knowing. So again, when you're interacting with people, even our close friends, relatives, our own children, we should be careful of what information you are sharing. So we start with phishing. Phishing in IT terms, it's written this way, but it's also the other phishing, whereby if you cast a net, you're able to get fish or anything else. So phishing attacks, it's whereby in your mobile phones, you receive fake email addresses and links, which we click. When we click, the person who sent that phishing link has a name to get access to information, either login credentials, the credit card information, and personal identifiable information. For example, your ID number, phone number, and PIN. Remember, this information is what is used to conduct what we call a SIM swap attack. The other one is identity theft. This is a deliberate use of someone else's identity to gain a financial advantage or obtain credit in other person's name. Impersonation is achieved through identity theft by stealing information such as ID number, phone number, and any other information. So we've seen cases of impersonation whereby somebody uses someone's details and conducts a financial transaction using what we call identity theft. So this is also another area that reminds us that we should keep all our documents safe and a lock and key, and ensure they are not available outside. Like when we go for photocopy, you make sure you retrieve all your copies. Even at house, you make sure that you keep these documents, you don't just keep them anywhere, you keep them under lock and key so as to prevent these kinds of identity theft. You also have insider threats. These are threats posed by people who know the SACCO due to the association either as members, employees, or contractors. They use the insider knowledge to perpetuate crime with the help of outsiders. So here we are saying, as insiders, as members, as SACCO, you always share information with members. So members have information about the SACCO. Employees also have information about the SACCO and contractors. So with this knowledge of being an insider, the same knowledge can be used to perpetuate crime with the help of outsiders, because this information is shared by cyber criminals who are outside. Then they use the same social engineering tactic to conduct threats. And now we go to SIM swap fraud. As I said, in the media, we see cases of SIM swap fraud, where we see DCI parading people with over 100 SIM cards, 50 SIM cards. This is what we call SIM swap fraud. So SIM swap fraud is a growing cybercrime in Kenya. Fraudsters trick mobile carriers into transferring a victim's phone number to a SIM card they control. Once a SIM swap is successful, the fraudsters will get access to, they intercept all your calls, SMSs, and OTPs, meaning now that they are in control of your line and they can do anything. When they intercept all the OTPs, that gives access to your financial mobile apps. It goes even a step further, that you can access your social media accounts and also mobile money services like M-Pesa. So you're saying the biggest threat to losing money is the SIM swap fraud, which is rampant. So we should also be careful with how we are treating our SIMs and how to protect ourselves from SIM swap fraud, because once the fraudsters are in control, they can do anything. Remember, you have cases whereby a SIM swap fraud has happened, and people have taken loans from financial institutions. They have taken Fuliza, M-Shwari, without the knowledge of the owner. And when these cases are forwarded to the DCI, the only thing they do is that maybe they will request you for some money so that they can help track the criminal. So to stay away from this, we should protect our SIM cards and treat them very confidentially. So one of the ways of preventing SIM swap fraud is to activate SIM lock by dialing *100*100 hash. I know most of this information has also been forwarded by Safaricom. This is whereby if you want to do a SIM swap, you can only present yourself to a Safaricom shop. You cannot do it online. Again, do not share your personal information with anyone, because once they are in control of this information, they can still impersonate you and do a SIM swap. And also set strong pins for M-Pesa. A SIM card, we also secure a SIM card with the pins, and make sure all our mobile apps have two-factor authentication. So one of the red flag pointers of SIM swap is that when you start getting unexpected messages on SIM swaps or pin resets, so you've not initiated any SIM swap, but you are getting a request that you've not initiated, that is a red flag pointer. You should take action immediately. Again, you receive so many calls, then all of a sudden you lose your network signal. And this is where the trick is, that they bombard you with calls so that you switch off your phone. And the moment you switch off your phone, that's when they take over the control of your SIM card. So when you get so many unexpected calls, don't switch off your phone. Try to contact the mobile service provider and explain the situation. Again, you get random messages or calls or texts requesting for PIN or codes. This is where people impersonate agents, like they're from Safaricom and they are telling you, put this code, enter this code. Then when you put this code, you lose your money or you lose the control of your SIM card. Again, all of a sudden, you find yourself being locked out of mobile money or mobile banking apps. So when you see all these things, just take an action to make sure that you are not scammed or your SIM card is not swapped. So based on that, we know as Omini Sacco, you offer mobile services. And some of our products are on the mobile platform. That means if such a case happens, if a SIM swap happens, a member can lose money through maybe loan application, online loan applications, the mobile loans, or even lose money deposited in false account. So as a SACCO, we know the threat posed by this, and we've deployed platforms to detect SIM swaps. So whenever a SIM swap happens, we've deployed platforms that alert us that a SIM swap on a certain number has taken place. And also we've partnered with Safaricom to detect fraudulent SIM swap requests. And also as a SACCO, you have the obligation to protect the customer accounts by preventing unauthorized modifications. So as a SACCO, you've taken measures at least to deter SIM swaps. If a SIM swap happens, we're able to know, and there are processes, internal control processes, that will help us identify if it was genuine or not. And also, we protect your accounts by making sure that the numbers you registered with us are the same numbers that you can only use. If there's a change of number, there are also internal controls that we request you members to do. However, as a member, you also have a responsibility to ensure that there are no authorized SIM swaps. So make sure at any given time that you are in control of your SIM card and there are no SIM swaps. And if there is any that has taken place, inform the SACCO immediately. Then you also, as a member, protect against social engineered attacks, especially from close relatives and friends. This is a trend that is happening whereby you find the people may be conducting social engineered attacks are people who are close to you. They may be relatives, your children, your friends, because they have a lot of interactions with you, and in the process of trust, you reveal a lot of information, and in the process, maybe the same people you trusted are the ones who initiate these SIM swaps without your knowledge. Only when incident happens, then it's when the investigations are being done, we find out that those people who conducted those attacks are people who are very close to us. Again, this is happening because of the social and attacking members. So if this happens, always inform the SACCO of any changes, and also keep track of your accounts. As a SACCO, you've given mobile apps, internet banking, where you can always be tracking your account balances. So if you suspect that you are a victim, what next? One of the things is that you change your PIN and passwords immediately, alert the SACCO to freeze your accounts, inform telcos, that is Safaricom or Airtel, to act and prevent fraud, file a report with the DCI, and change all account passwords linked to your phone number. Again, as a SACCO, you've provided online banking, and fake websites can also be used to lure a customer to enter the details, and these details are accessed by third parties. So when accessing our online platforms, always access the portal through the SACCO website. Do not do the search on Google, because Google will give you many results and you might click the wrong one. Again, verify the URL, that is the address of the website. And then again, one of the mistakes that we make is saving our details in the browser, so that during the next login, you just click sign in. Remember, browsers are not very safe, and threat actors outside, they know how to retrieve those passwords. Then they will get access to your information. Again, it's always good to have your personal information updated with the current details so that at every login, you receive the OTP. Here we are saying that make sure that you have your correct phone number and email address so that for every interaction, you receive a one-time password to get into the details. Then again, ensure that the site you're accessing has a secure, they have a secure HTTPS, it has a padlock. That means the site is secure. Again, the mistake we make is using public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi is the most dangerous thing to use. So if possible, avoid using public Wi-Fi because this is where all the problems start. Because public Wi-Fi is filled with malware. So when you connect your devices into public Wi-Fi, attackers are there waiting for you. So as much as possible, avoid using public Wi-Fi. So now on the tips on what to do and what not to do. So one of the takeaways that treat your PIN like cash. You guard it closely. Make sure your PIN is only known to you. Again, when doing your PIN, always cover the keypad. Remember, there are people who are very good at looking what you are writing, and that's how they are able to know your PIN. So always make sure you cover your keypad when doing PINs. If you receive a password reset request that you did not initiate, act immediately. Your SIM is your financial key. Protect it. Act fast. The quicker you report, the less the damage. Stay skeptical. Fraudsters often pose as real agents. So you're saying fraudsters will impersonate to be SACCO staff or staff from Safaricom or any other financial institution, and you might trust them only to find they were fraudsters. Then enable alerts for new device logins. So if you are changing devices, enable alerts so that if there's anything happening, at least you are alerted. And also perform periodic PIN changes. So PIN changes, periodic PIN changes is also recommended so that if somebody had a chance was tracking you and he was almost getting it, then when you change, it deters them. So they have to start again and it will take an effort. So what you should not do not use your passwords for SACCO, email, social media. So again, we use the same passwords for different sites that we log in. If you are logging in for portal, we use the same email, the same password. When you log into a Google Gmail, we use the same password. All online platforms, we use the same password. The danger of this is that if this password is leaked to the dark web, they'll be able to get all your accounts in any other login that you have. So always use different passwords for different accounts. Don't link your financial accounts to casual platforms. So again, if you know a site is not secure, don't share your financial information like phone number or ATM card number. Make sure you only share to authorized platforms. Again, don't use the same passwords across SACCO, M-Pesa, and social media pages. Again, don't write down your passwords and PINs. If possible, memorize them, because when you write them down, somebody will have an access and they will now try to use that number, do a number of tests, and they will succeed. Don't save your login credentials in browsers. Again, don't use your personal information like year of birth, ID number, phone number, etc. as your passwords. This will be, criminals will, they're able to get this very easily and you'll be hacked. Again, don't use patterns like 000, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, fraudsters, they know how to get this. So, dear members, I think we've done a refresher on cybersecurity. I will be sharing these tips oftenly so that to ensure that your accounts are safe, not only for Minisako, but also for the financial ecosystem that we find ourselves in, all for the security of safeguarding your assets. Thank you, and back to you, moderator.
Thank you, Bwana Timothy, for that sharing. It has been very, very elaborate, taking us back to some of the tips that we know, some of the tips that we don't know. And because we transact everything online, it's good that we are very careful, not only as a SACCO, but also us as members, so that our hard-earned cash is not lost. I can see Lucas is appreciating the session that Bwana Timothy has shared, which is very, very good. It has been very elaborate on how we can take care of our cash. And we even shared what we had shared in our WhatsApp platform of the *100, so that you can lock your SIM card, so that whenever you need to swap, you can only swap it in a Safaricom shop. So all those things that he has shared will really mitigate the risk of us being attacked online when we are transacting, losing our money, which has gone very well. And I've noted the don'ts. Also hope that you have noted. Let us not use our years of birth as passwords, our ID or our phone numbers. Somebody can easily guess them. Also, let us avoid using the common patterns when we are transacting using our mobile phone. And also, let us not save our passwords on our browsers. Some of us go to the cyber, which is a public platform, and we save our passwords there. So that one, we are easily vulnerable. And also, our password should be like our cash. We should not even write them down and put them in our wallet, because if somebody gets chance to access our wallets and then they find our password written, they can easily access our platform and maybe run away with our hard-earned cash. And also, the SACCO has also provided that if you swap your SIM, you may find some difficulties, because you need to inform us that you have swapped your SIM. Otherwise, we'll not be sure whether it is you or somebody else. That is why you often see, for those who have used for those who have swapped their SIM cards, they have to inform the SACCO. Otherwise, you will not be able to transact. And again, you have also indicated that the passwords that are common should not be common to all the social media. The same password you're using in Facebook, Twitter, is the same one you're using for our mini. So let us have separate passwords, so that at least we can safeguard our money. Moving on, we'll remember, as we said earlier, we have our consultant here with us. And remember, the title today is Leveraging on Affordable Credit to Grow Our Wealth. We'll be able to delve into that. Remember, if you have any question, you can use our chat box. And before we finish, we'll be having a question and answer session where we'll be able to interact and ask the questions live. But those who are asking in our chat boxes, we have been able to respond to some of the questions that have been asked. So we can maybe have one live question from Florence, so that we can know how to proceed, because I see Madam Florence's hand is up. So just to allow Florence to ask the question. I know we are moving on to the Q&A, but we'll just allow Florence to ask a question before we move to the next part of the agenda. Karibu, Florence.
Thank you very much.
Florence, you can unmute.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for the chance.
Louder, please, Madam Florence.
Okay. Good morning. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sure. Proceed. We can now hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for the chance, and thank you for the information that you've given us this morning. My question is out of today's topic, and I would just like to understand. I received a message recently of the increase of the minimum contribution for the monthly. So I would just like to understand how that came into effect. I didn't get any information before that. Kindly, thank you.
Thank you for that, but we'll always encourage that we share questions that are pertaining what we are discussing. But on the minimum deposit that increased to 1,000, that was a resolution that was passed during our annual delegates meeting, and we shared circulars to all our units pertaining that, and also our Catholic faithfuls were able to get that, and all our Mzalendos got that particular information. Maybe Madam Florence, we can maybe have a one-on-one chat maybe after this and find out how it comes you didn't get that information. We'll be able to follow that one up and ensure that you are well versed with the latest SACCO updates and events. Please, members, I can see many hands are coming up. We'll be having a question and answer session. We were just taking one burning question so that you allow us to move on so that we are not behind time when that time comes. So I'll ask that HMD Global will be able maybe to respond to the question and your question during the Q&A, please, so that we allow the consultant to take us through the topic of today. Please allow us to move on. Thank you. So we'll be moving on to our next session, which is the main cake of the day, leveraging on affordable credit to grow our wealth. And today we are having our consultant from Think Progress Consultants, Jekon Ndonge, but he'll be able to introduce himself, what he does, and also take us through that particular topic. Karibu sana Bwana Ndonge. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me for this discussion. My name is Ndonge Jekones, like you've been told. As earlier stated, I have trained cooperatives for many years. My last station was Cooperative Bank, where I was head of credit or head of cooperatives training. Before that, I worked with the Ministry of Finance. I left there as a senior economist. By profession, I'm a trained agricultural economist, but more so, I'm now a consultant training on money issues. So today, without saying much more about myself, I want to talk to us about leveraging affordable credit to grow your wealth. And even as I go into this, I want us to ask ourselves, how many loans have we taken since we started taking loans? What is it that we've done with this loan that we've taken? When we look back at the amount of loans that we have received, what is it that we can say we have done? So today I want to discuss how a member can effectively use or invest affordable credit to increase his or her wealth portfolio. We are aware that credit is money. We are aware that if this money is invested well, this money can create more wealth. So this is what we want to discuss briefly. So I want to say that a strong SACCO has got something to do with how much you can borrow. A strong SACCO is the first place to begin with. So what's a strong SACCO? A strong SACCO has very strong liquidity, has good leadership and corporate governance principles, has honest and supportive members. A SACCO with nil or nil or few loan backlogs, a SACCO with nil or near nil bad loans, a SACCO that posts good surpluses year in, year out, etc. And I want to relax here kidogo and say the person to create such a SACCO, like you have done for Mini, is you member. How do you do it? Mobilize huge savings, access credit, utilize it prudently, and service the loans on time. When you do that, you create a strong SACCO where you can walk in and walk out with as much money as you want based on your capacity to service the said loan. I want you to look at this building, a strong SACCO with a deep credit foundation. Good lending from the SACCO leads to a very strong SACCO so that even if people employ dirty tricks, the SACCO still stands strong and members will still access loans. So the question is, how strong are credit processes, guidelines, and policies at this SACCO? I hope they are very strong. And when they are very strong, it means that even if anybody tries to go, but the SACCO will remain strong. The person to make the SACCO strong is you. Then you look at the next picture. What am I saying here? Wrong credit decisions lead to a weak SACCO that finally collapses. Greed and conflict of interest and impunity can bring down any SACCO. Worse, if it is weak. How honest and prudent are members on matters credit access and utilization for wealth creation? We have got increasing cases where people give wrong information to access loans which are not then prudently utilized. At the end of it all, they cannot service the debts. What happens? The SACCO goes down. Is that our intention? No. We want to create a SACCO where whenever we need money, we can come and get that money, which we are calling credit, so that we can increase or deepen our wealth portfolio. So what is wealth? A small definition of wealth in economic terms. What is it? Wealth is valuable material possessions that you have, that I have, resources that you have, that I have, money that you have, that I have. It represents total net worth of assets less liabilities. So whatever positions you have, whatever resources you have, whatever amount of money you have, debit or minus liabilities, then you can say, I am worth this much. This is how wealthy or this is how poor I am. I want to submit to all of us that at the first value, we are all rich, men and women, in varying degrees. But we can use affordable credit from this SACCO to further increase our wealth portfolio. I am here to talk to you as somebody who has worked in civil service, somebody who has worked in a bank, and somebody who is now self-employed. And I can tell you that when you access this affordable credit in your SACCO and invest it prudently, taking all matters into account, I can tell you for freely, you can increase your wealth portfolio. You can increase your wealth portfolio. So going next, I'm asking myself, wealth creation, important facts about credit money. How is it that the money the SACCO gives me can increase my wealth or can decrease my wealth? Most bad loans, which some of us have, unfortunately, are created before disbursement if a member had concealed vital facts or if proper appraisal was not done. There are increasing cases where members are greedy, not you guys, where members are greedy for money. So what do? They fake records, which allow them to get higher loans. And once they get the loans, that may be the beginning of a bad loan. Bad appraisal and deserving loans and poor utilization end to bad loans. I want to believe the SACCO has got very good credit officers. I want to believe the loans are given to deserving people. And I want to believe that as members who access this affordable credit, utilize it well so that at the end of it all, we increase our wealth portfolio and then we have some surplus, then we ensure we service our loans so that we don't have bad loans. Such loans do not create wealth. If you get a bad loan, or if you misuse the loan, that loan does not create wealth for a member and may actually impoverish the members. Later on, I'm going to tell you later that if you use the money unwisely, if you don't use your loan prudently, you are digging your economic grave. Wealth creation for an uncertain future. The circle has given us a platform where we can come and access loans and invest and create more wealth, expand our income avenues. But I can also tell you that there are certain things that if they're not done well, you will go wrong. So creating wealth creation for an uncertain future. Nobody knows about tomorrow. Now you have a well-paying job. Tomorrow the job is gone. Well-paying jobs. But before they knew it, the job went. So if they had accessed affordable credit, invested prudently, even if the job goes, they can have a place or a platform from which to begin. Now you have a booming business. Tomorrow it may be down. And while still here, I want to encourage all members, if you have a loan, if you have a business, please ensure that you insure the business. Because today the business is booming, tomorrow the business is down. Now you have a liquid and supporting spouse. Tomorrow, the money is gone. This week, I've handled a number of cases of marriages in distress. So today, your wife is bankrolling you, or your husband is bankrolling you. Before you know it, marriage has got hiccup. Before you know it, the person who was bankrolling you has left. Before you know it, the person who was financing you, pesa imeisha. So, but if you accessed affordable credit, identified good investment platforms, invested the money well, even if these uncertainties come in our life, and they will come, you will have something to step on. Now you have a good pension. Tomorrow its purchasing power may be swept by high inflation. I've heard people saying, mimi niko na kazi mzuri, nitapata a good pension. Pension will be good, but if inflation is very high, then the purchasing power of that money from that pension will go down. So what will help you? If during the time when you are working, during the time when you are in good business, during the time you are accessing affordable credit and investing the same prudently, even if these uncertainties come your way, you will still laugh all the way to your circle. You can access and utilize such affordable credit from this circle well to create your other income stream. As I go on, I will also give you personal examples because I worked for many years. I got money. I cannot say I was not blessed. But now when I look back, I see very many missed opportunities. One of them was I did not access as much loan as I could, yet I had the capacity to service the same. What that means is I did not invest heavily, or I did not invest well, so that now when my other job is gone, I don't have a lot of other income revenues. So don't be like me. Be wise. Be wise. There's what we call passive income. So what is passive income? Income from investment that hits our funds or accounts as we rest or do other things. My prayer for each and every one of you is that we use credit we get from this circle to invest in areas where our energies will not be needed. You are seated, and before you know it, your phone is saying you have received money, and that money has come from your other earlier investments. I want to submit to you that you are a blessed people for being members of a circle where you can access affordable credit to invest for wealth creation, to take care of you today and your years in retirement. I normally tell people sometimes they don't take me seriously, but I hope you're going to take me seriously. There's what we call the first laughter and the second laughter. The first laughter is where somebody can come to you to ask you to give him maybe 40K, but you tell him, I don't have. He'll laugh at you, but the good thing is you are still capable or you still have a job, you still have an a business. Second laughter comes when you are now down, kazi imeenda, biashara imeenda chini, and then people need money from you, or you need financial support, or you need money to do your own things, and that money is not forthcoming. People will laugh at you. At that time, which I call second laughter, it is very painful, but we can get away from it by doing what? By borrowing now, investing prudently, so that even tomorrow when we are long retired, nobody will come and laugh at us, because we will still be getting money. We will still go to our circles and find that our credit balances are not bad at all. So what is credit? Everybody knows credit is money from our loan, but the definition of credit is, it is a contract in which you undertake to have a financial liability at a price called interest with a promise to repay. So you walk into a mini SACCO, you ask them for a loan of 2 million, then that becomes a liability. Then there's a price called interest, and you agree on whether it is 24 months, 48 months, 72 months, you repay that loan. So this loan, I want to submit to you, every time you get a loan is a debt. It's a debt which is put on your head or on your shoulders. The only time you will breathe is when you have cleared repaying this loan. But even if it is a load on our back, if we invest it well, we know it is a load, but we have invested the money well, and from our investments, we can get returns that can help us to service that loan. So I want to say once again, musisumbuane na wafanyikazi na directors. If you come for a loan, ujue lazima ulipe. Lipa your loan, remove that burden from that loan from you, and make everybody's work easy. So what is affordable credit? Most SACCO loans rarely go beyond 12%. And we know this. And I've heard the board say that there are some loans they are giving you now at 9%, at 10% for some products. But most of the SACCO loans are at 12%. When you compare it with some interest rates in commercial banks, you will be scared. Yesterday, I was looking at some figures. There are some banks that are actually charging 20%. Yes, some are a bit lower, but wherever you go, east, west, south, north, SACCO loans will always remain affordable. So SACCO interest rates never vary according to prevailing economic conditions. Commercial bank interest rates are governed by macroeconomic conditions prevailing in the country. When a country is not well governed, these macroeconomic fundamentals will ensure that the cost of credit is very high. And what the banks do when such things happen, they vary upwards your interest rates. I am yet to know of a SACCO that has varied its interest rates upwards, even when commercial bank loans are hitting the sky. So we can confidently say that SACCO loans are affordable. In terms of better planning by borrowers, SACCO loans are more assuring and may have little impact on cash flows, even as the economy goes through high interest rates. I mean, imagine you have borrowed a loan at 12%. So you have managed your cash flow. Then all of a sudden you are told the interest rate has increased to 15. It will affect your cash flows. But such a problem, you do not get it in a SACCO. So my advice to you, as from where I see it, borrow as much, if not all, your loans from the SACCO. It will save you a lot of headache. And listening to Director Peter talk, I saw something that a SACCO does that a commercial bank does not do. I saw a mother talking to a child. So a mother here is a SACCO talking to a member. And we are even talking about, should you run into economic problems, we can even restructure your loan. And I tell you, when you come to a SACCO and ask for restructuring, you will not be looked at by angry eyes. You go to a bank, say that you want your loan to be scheduled. The kind of look you will get, my friend, you will not be happy about it. I'm talking to you because I've worked in the bank and I've also trained SACCOs for many years. A SACCO is like a mother to members. Ikiumana na uende kwao na uambie vizuri, they will listen to you. They will listen to you. So let us continue feeding from our mother. Money on the box. Long time ago, when I was a young man, there was something going on in TVs. Money on the box. I want to submit to you. Majority of the people went for people because they don't know what the box is carrying. Somebody would go for the box. The box has got only a key holder. Somebody leaves 50,000. But from my experience with Kenyans love money and so can borrow until they take their last breath. Kenyans will borrow until they can no longer speak. But even if they can speak, as long as their limbs can still work, they can sign. They will ask for a loan form and they will sign. They borrow from SACCOs, commercial banks, other financial institutions, from mobile phone apps, from Shylocks, friends, and relatives. Most Kenyans who have access to some money from salary, business, agricultural produce, border, Juakali, etc., are heavily indebted with loans of all kinds. Some of the members listening to me now could be drowning in loans. My prayer is none of you is drowning in loans, but there's a possibility. Not a bad thing if the loans were prudently invested and they are serviced on time. So I'm saying, kama unataka loan, go for it. But please ask yourself, do I have the ability to service the loans? If you don't have the ability, increase your savings, look for other ways, rest kidogo ndio ukujie loan. Never take a loan if you don't have the capacity to service that loan. I want to look at this man. This is a man who was overborrowed and now lives in shame by hiding away from creditors, including the SACCO. The SACCO loan may not be repaid. If you overborrow, if you overburden yourself, the SACCO loan may not be repaid. Are there some members in this position? Are there members of Wamini SACCO wakiona simu inatoka kwa SACCO wanasema, oh, not again. I know they want to ask me for the loan that has gone into arrears. I want to encourage members. Yes, interest rate is affordable. Yes, interest rate is friendly. Borrow what you can safely service. So what is credit? What is prudent credit? Prudent utilization for wealth creation. Money is good. Money can be bad. But when you get a loan, how do you use it? So what is prudent credit management all about? This applies to all of us, even me. When I get a loan, what is the meaning of prudent credit management? When I use that money, I deepen my wealth. I increase my wealth portfolio. So what is it? The use of clean and accurate records when making a loan request. As I said earlier, if you doctor records, if you misrepresent facts and get a loan higher than what you can get, chances are you will misuse that money. The money, the said loan, for the loan to help you increase your wealth, that loan should be released to the right person at the right time for a project that promises to bring tangible products. So I want to appeal to members. If you want to use credit from this SACCO to broaden or deepen your wealth portfolio, please ask for a loan at the right time. Give the SACCO adequate time so that by the time the loan is being released, you are ready to invest in that project. And for any project that you are investing in using loans from the SACCO, please find out the economic worthiness of that project. Then ensure that the principal and interest due are fully paid up according to the loan covenant. I have seen many people. Yes, the loan they got. Yes, they invested the money, some well, some badly. But at some point in time, they fall into arrears. Principal is not paid, interest is not paid, and that brings a lot of headache. And with this kind of headache, you can even go into anxiety. Well utilized credit depends wealth creation. I have seen men and women get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and 2 years later, nothing to write home about that money. So what happens? Wealth creation through investment of loans. So what am I saying here? If you want to benefit from SACCO loans, very well, let us mobilize savings. I've just heard something, I don't know, but let me not go much into it, that somebody is asking why the deposits were increased to 1,000. I'm asking, in this modern day and age, is there somebody still saving 1K? In this modern day and age, we are looking tomorrow. We are looking for years to come. So let me tell you, mobilize savings as much as you can now. Identify the correct project using, when you want to take a loan from the SACCO, take commensurate loan that can complete the project. There are cases where the project is costing $500,000. Then you go for a loan of 200,000. What that means is you will do the project and leave it halfway. Then now you start looking for other money to complete the project. What my advice is, mobilize savings. Then if the project is costing $500,000, go for that $500,000, go for it and invest it so that hata ikibaki kidogo, maybe it is only 3 months or 4 months, the project starts to bring in some income to start helping you generate income, which you can use to service the loan. Then pay off all other expenses. If you're running a project, as you service your loan, if there are some other monies you got somewhere that help you in putting up the project, please pay off those other expenses. Then whatever the balance you have, you can reinvest it to increase your wealth portfolio. I want to look at this picture. I don't know what you're seeing. This is a young man, to be about 40 or 39. The guy has got money. What does he do? This is a man who should not take any loan, because according to him, pesa ni otas, to be misused. He's not ready to use loan productively. He will not have the capacity to repay the loan, will not create wealth. And this kind of person may be auctioned. This is not a far-fetched story. There are many men and women who go to the SACCO and get a loan of $500,000, and before they know it, 200 imeenda kwa njia ambazo he cannot explain or she cannot explain. I'm not saying that if you get a loan of $500,000, you cannot take 3K uende ujivinjari. But when that money pushes you to visit nightclubs or places of leisure every evening, you are digging your economic grave. And aside, the loan will not help you to create any wealth. If anything, that loan can actually destroy you. I want to give an example here. There's a guy called Margaret Wanjiru. We all know Margaret Wanjiru was a marathon runner. He used to run in Japan. The guy was minting money, was in millions. But I want to ask you, do you know what killed this young man? It was his money. This guy could move from Nyahururu, Nanyuki, Nakuru, wherever. And from the reports that we had then, in every town, he had a woman. And what killed him finally? To date, the police have not told us who pushed him down his balcony. But your money can kill you. Your money can give you life. Never use loan to destroy yourself. Never. Look at this other old man, Nakachungua. Unproductive utilization of loans, using money on side chicks, concubines or side boys. We know hata paka mzee anakunywa maziwa. We know, lakini punguzeni ukali. The loan will not easily be repaid if misused. At the end of it all, it is poverty or your property will be auctioned. I want to send a warning here. You may have used the money well to create some wealth, the loan well to get some wealth. Then later on, you go for a bigger loan from our minister. That bigger loan, you end up squandering it. Let me tell you, the SACCO will come for your other investments. The SACCO, I don't know about Omini SACCO, but the lender has got the legal right to auction some of the properties you have. So as we enjoy life, my friends, don't use loan to enjoy life in such a manner, because you're actually destroying your wealth portfolio. So I don't know how many of us can identify with that, but I can tell you that a lot of people have destroyed themselves. I have a small example I want to give you. A SACCO member in Kenya took a loan worth 700,000. This one was in Mombasa. I was there after doing a training. The CEO comes and tells me, unajua huyu, unaona huyu mzee, juzi alikuja akachukua 700K. He then wired 650 to his side chick's account. The loan was to be repaid in 48 months. 48 months, 650 gone. I don't know, but you'll have to repay. I don't know whether there's anybody here mwenye akipata pesa and a wire. I don't know. In the past, it was only men who supported lifestyles of their ladies, but now an increasing number of women are taking credit to take their side boys for vacations on top of clothing them, housing them, and feeding them. Either way, we are all all in a catch-24. But if you misuse your money, if you misuse the loan you get from the SACCO, chances are you should stop talking about creating more wealth. In both cases, credit is wasted and not used to create more, to create for the member, to create more wealth for the member. And the end product is poverty in life later on. Wacha poverty inikute hizo wakati zinakuja, God forbid, but let it not be because I got money but I misused it. Let it not be. And that's my prayer for each and every one of you. Look at this old man, retired, but still servicing the loan. The question is, at what age should you stop taking a loan, or should you start taking smaller loans? That one I leave to you. The old man is asking, why did I take this loan? It was affordable. Why did I take it this late? Will they auction my properties? Will they harass my family? Will they go for my guarantor's deposit? And what will my guarantors do to me? Do not wait to be in such a situation because of late, or when you use your loan point, because of when you, I was meant to say because you've taken the loan late or because you have utilized the loan. Here I want to say, chukua loan as many times as you can kulingana na uwezo wako. Lakini because if I don't tell you this, I'll be lying to you. There's time for everything. At a certain age, don't kill yourself with loan. Punguza loan, so that headache inakuwa kidogo. Have I said nobody should have I said that nobody should take a loan when he's old? I've not said that. I've only said after a certain age, reduce your liabilities. Reduce your liabilities. Do not drown in debts. Do not allow creditors to be all over you. Do not be auctioned. Do not allow your already created wealth to be taken away. There are some men and women in this scenario. Unaona mtu ako na loan, creditors are pursuing him. There are people wakisikia mtu anakuja, akiona mwenye ako na deni yake anakuja, the guy can even change direction. There are people who have missed being hit by a vehicle because ameona mwenye ako na deni yake. My friend, carry a load that allows you to maintain your dignity, not a loan that will make the SACCO look for you all over. There's this thing called guarantors. Very good. Let me say one or two things about guarantors. Know who you are guaranteeing for a loan. Number two, do not over-guarantee loans. Number three, remember that if the loans guaranteed by you become bad, the SACCO will ask you to service the same. Remember that. This may actually be for you. So what am I saying? In a SACCO, you need each other for guarantorship, but open your eyes and mind before you append your signature on any loan. If the loanee defaults and cannot service the loan, the burden fully comes back to you. 5 years ago, I was doing a training in Eldoret, and when I was through, an old woman came to me and told me, my friend, she called my friend, I retired 2 years ago, and I'm servicing a debt or a loan of a default, of somebody who has defaulted, but I hear he's still working. You know what the SACCO can do? The SACCO can help you identify where that man or that woman is. but the SACCO has got little power to go and force that man in that new employment to service the debt. So what am I saying? Guarantee, but know that every signature you are paying, there's something telling you in the event the loan is not serviced, your signature is giving the SACCO authority, come for my money. So remember that. So what is investment? What is investment? An investment is monetary asset purchased with the idea that the asset will provide income in future or appreciate in value and be sold at a price, or money put in an interest-bearing instrument. So we are talking about affordable interest or affordable credit, meaning this money we get it, we acquire an asset, or we build a business, or we do something that in the end will earn us income. Or you put this money somewhere where it is bearing interest. So what to consider before you invest? Yes, you want a loan of 4 million from our mini SACCO. There's something you want to do. Before you take that loan or before you invest, ask yourself the following questions. The rate of returns where your money is being invested, date of maturity, period of duration of investment. How long will the project start to give you returns? How long will it take to recoup the cost of investment? Then you must ask yourself sector. Don't just put in money because people are putting money. Ask yourself, which sector, is it volatile? Is it stable? The cost of funds, if you're using borrowed funds, luckily enough, if you come here, the cost of funds is not high, so you can figure out that. Then the reputation of the company you are investing in. In the event that you are taking a loan here and you want to go into a joint venture with a friend, or you want to put that money somewhere, lazima ujiulize reputation of that company. This country has pushed many men and women, SACCO members, into poverty because their monies were invested in companies that did not have reputation. And before they knew it, the companies went under with the deposits or with the investments of the members. Ease with which you can reclaim your investment in the event of an urgent need. The other day, I was training some people in Mombasa, and a lady told me that she had some land in Karen. She lives in Rwanda. There are these guys who are well-to-do. Then she told me that at the time she wanted to sell her land in Karen to do something. She needed 3 million urgently. Sometimes it's not very so. Here, what I'm saying is, when you are investing your money, you must ask yourself, in the event there's an urgent need for money, how can I reclaim? How can I sell it off? How can I reclaim my investment? Timing. You need to know where to invest. Then, when you are doing a project, you need to ask yourself human skills required to run that project to become successful. Don't just throw in money. Every investment needs human capital. If it is not you, ask yourself, do you have enough money to hire somebody who can run with the project? Then in Kenya, the region where to invest comes into question. There's a day I boarded a matatu and I'm going to town. Then there's a lady who just came not very far from my house. We boarded the matatu at the same time. So when we dropped in town, na akaniuliza tribe, nikamuuliza mimi, nikamwambia mimi ni Mjaluo. Akaniuliza, you're a Luo and you have put up your retirement home in Kikuyu land. Do you have brains? You know, hiyo kitu ilikula for long. Yes, I have a house in Kiambu. She was actually sending a thread. How dare you? So, but so far I've lived there for 12 years. I've never been threatened. I thank God. And I've got very beautiful, very good neighbors. Although in Kenya, anything can happen. You know, in Rwanda, the people who killed people were born again Christians. You know that? And during post-election violence, people turned against each other. There's a guy who married a lawyer, but he told the lawyer, where imefika, weenda. Na wako na watoto watatu, kimeumana. So uko na watoto watatu, your wife of 10 years, unamwambia aende. So I'm saying, I'm not scaring you, but Kenya remains Kenya. When you want to invest, when you want to do a long-term investment, ask yourself, where? there are things we call wrong investment. You can actually come to our mini circle and get 4 million shillings, but you put it in the wrong investment. In a wrong investment is that investment that eats into your already earned wealth. What that means is you are pumped in 4 million. 4 million is not giving returns yet. So lazima utafute pesa from your other sources to service that loan. A wrong investment can actually eat into your already earned wealth. It is investment that is left uncompleted for long, white elephants. It is not only the government that puts up white elephant projects. We know men and women who, for the thrill of it, if I may use that word, wameona kuna mtu amefanya kitu fulani, they come to the circle, they get a loan, they invest, the project is 40% complete. And for him or her to get the next loan, it will take another 3 years. That can kill you. Investment that takes more than 3 years to break even. Investment in the wrong sector or at the wrong place. Copy-pasting somebody's investment idea without understanding the economic background. Don't just come and do what I've done. If you want to do what I've done, come and sit down with me, ask me questions, then I'll answer you before you invest in that project. Because you do not know the factors I took into account when I was starting that project. There are many guys, many men and women who have lost big time because they copy-pasted other people's ideas without understanding this thing fully. Wrong investment. Let me give another example in my village. This guy, we went to school with him. We did CP same time. By then I did CP many years before all of you did yours, 75. I don't know how old you guys were. So 1975, that's when I did CP. I got my first degree in 1983. So this guy, he went into teaching and retired not long ago. This guy gets his lump sum, 6 million, and buys a tractor worth 4 million in the village where farming is not a very pronounced activity. So the tractor is left there. There's 4 million lost there. The only good thing, loan. But 4 million equal happen. If I were him, or if he had come to me, I would have advised him better. And as he does this, he lived in a schoolhouse for all those years. So he comes back after retirement. That's when he wants to do retirement home. That home is Ayafika Linton, na sasa hana pesa, na 4 million iko hapo. So let us be intelligent when we get money. Otherwise, you may be digging your own economic grave. Examples of some areas we can invest. I didn't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time, so I'll just mention them. Kama kuna swali itaulizwa baadaye. Where can we invest money? Money you can deposit in a bank or a SACCO, but I would tell you that before you take any money to the bank, talk to your SACCO. If the SACCO has got products that can fetch higher returns, please usitoe pesa from our mini SACCO, unapeleka KCB or COPA. If they are fixed deposit receipts or FDRs and they are giving you reasonably good returns, weka pesa hapo. You can invest in shares and stocks. I'm not an expert on that area, but I know people invest in shares and stocks. I bought some shares long, some time back. I regret today. Before you go into shares and stocks, would you listen maswali? If possible, use the services of a consultant or a somebody in stock brokerage area. Don't just go buy shares. Don't just go buy stocks. Uliza maswali. You can buy health. You can buy a policy in an insurance company, and if it takes 10 years, matures, you get your 500,000. You can do something with it. You can buy treasury bills and treasury bonds. I'm told they are very lucrative, but sometimes they can take longer before you get your money back. But as low as 50,000, you can start investing there. We can invest our money. If you have slightly more money, the circle does not give you the adequate return you want, you can go to some unit trusts, you can go to money markets. I was looking at a figure of 6M. Right now, if you have 6M in the money market, they are giving something like 32 to 35 6,000 shillings per month. If you use that 6 million to put up a house, I don't know how many bedrooms that one can be, but the people are asking, the question is, nikiweka kwa money market, mi siulizi maswali, nakaa tu, pesa inakuja. Nikiweka kwa nyumba, sometimes jamaa hajalipa, ama sometimes painting is supposed to be done, ama sometimes hii pipe imefanyika nini, na mwenye anaishi hapo hana pesa, so unaitwa. So when you're making investments, there are 2 or 3 things you must ask. Then you can also invest in income generating ventures, which are professionally run. We have got so many small and medium enterprises in this country. I want to mention them. You can do a portion mill in a good place. It can give you returns. You can do a supermarket or a shop. It can give you some returns. You can go into commercial agriculture, crops, dairy, poultry. You can do a hotel. You can do a restaurant. You can do a garage. There's a friend of mine who has done a very good motor garage and is making good money. You can do a petrol station. You can go into import and export business. You can do car washing. They're all over. In fact, I don't know whether that's the next big business. It's just like bars. Wherever you go, people have machines washing cars. I'm sure they are making money. You can do a private school or a private college. You can go into real estate where you build houses and people rent and give you money. You can do a saloon, you can do kinyozi. There's a friend of mine who retired and went into kinyozi business. Now he has got about 10 in different places. And when I look at him, the guy is doing well. So who will manage? The question I keep on getting when I talk about this, people ask me, who will manage such enterprises when you have busy full-time job? Ukiwacha your brother or your cousin, lazima atakulia hapo. So watu wanauliza, unaniambia nifanye hii and have a full-time job. Who will manage? You can still do this, employ a good manager and develop good internal controls and be present, not full-time, but be present. Sometimes do not let this guy know when you come to check or audit. Otherwise, if we say we are too busy in our jobs, then these things we can only do when we are out of work or when we have retired. Credit, death or life. Credit gives socioeconomic life when invested prudently because it creates wealth. Credit causes socioeconomic debt. That should be debt. Sorry, that should be debt when misapplied or used in areas that do not generate income. When credit cannot be serviced, it invites auctioneers or already generated wealth is used to cover for it. This leads to economic debt. Never come for a loan from Waumini Sacco that will kill you. And a loan from Miaka will only kill you if you're not very clear on what you want to do with that money. Because if you're not very clear, you'll go into wrong investment. And when you go into wrong investment, the loan will go into arrears, then finally becomes a bad loan. Then finally auctioneers will come and that will push you to your early grave. Let's not go there, but let's go for credit. Use it well, service it in good time, and repay. So I'm asking a question there, and the question is where to source for this credit. Get all your credit from your Sacco. Sorry, get all your credit from your Sacco unless otherwise. I repeat, get all your loans from the Sacco unless otherwise. Avoid the following like a plague. Number 1, avoid commercial banks if you can. And I'm talking from experience. Loan kikiumana, hapo ndio utajua these smiles these guys give. Those soft voices when you receive a call, utajua hujui. Commercial banks. Avoid microcredit institutions as much as you can. Avoid phone apps. They are inviting people to take loans all over. Avoid Shylocks. Avoid these people. I want to say something here, Bwana Chairman or board members who are here. Long time ago, the concept of a Sacco was very clear. save, get credit to invest. And long time ago, SACCOs and even commercial banks used to follow you to ensure that you have used the loan for the purpose that you had indicated. Things have changed. I don't know about Waumini SACCO members. There are people who are now using the SACCO loans as an extension of salary. Wanapata salary, wanaimeza in 5 days. Then they know the SACCO has got very many other products that can push me to the end of the month. Tusitumie loans as another extension of salary coin. Let us get loans and use them for the purpose we have stated to do what? To create wealth. To create wealth. So you can use money to do commercial farming. Look at this young man. I think this guy is a retiree, but before he retired, he had bought land. Chances are he used SACCO loan to buy land. Chances are before he retired, he started this business using the SACCO loan. So akitoka kwa kazi, salaried, then he comes and continues with the business. I also want to remind everybody listening to me, upende usipende, you are going to retire. Some of you are lucky, they will work until they are 60. But nowadays, employers can send you home even when you're 35. I know a friend of mine who was retrenched at 32, and he had just married 6 months. But he was in PIP. Performance was not very good. But when I asked him, Chief, is it true that you're not working? Akasema hii ni fitina. So your boss can actually put you in PIP. And before you know it, you are told your performance is wanting. And before you know it, you are told to go home. Use every opportunity you have as a SACCO member to acquire 1 or 2 things so that in the event mwenye kazi anasema kazi imeisha, you will not be on the streets begging after 1 month. You can also do SACCO loan. You can also use a SACCO loan to do a good poultry project. In fact, and this is where, as an economist, sometimes I get very mad with some government policies. I keep on asking myself, why on earth would the government import eggs? Why? Why eggs? Why on earth would the government allow importation of poultry? If the economy was well managed, these sectors are doing very well. I know guys who are in dairy, they are doing very well. But one day you'll hear a sheep has docked with how many millions of powdered milk. Inakuja, then it is changed into liquid milk. Before you know it, you don't have a market to sell your produce. Looking back, let me give you a small story about myself. Looking back at my life, did I utilize credit access that was available to me in the best way forward? That's the question I want to ask. As an employee and a member of a SACCO, I did not use all the opportunities I had in credit access from my SACCO to invest and create steady streams for wealth creation. I did not. The best age bracket to consume as much credit as you can is from age 25 to age 55. Chukua loan, lakini ulipe. Chukua loan, lakini we invest it prudently. Na ulipe. I was a procrastinator. Yet time did not wait for me. There are so many investment opportunities that come our way. Lakini tunasema sio sasa, sio sasa, sio mimi, sio sasa, sio mimi. Where I built my first house, I had said me Donge, a university graduate, nikae mahali kama hapo siwezi. Na nilisema siwezi, 10 years later, I bought a plot at that place at 10 times the price. And that's where I lived and had my children until they were big. I lived there for about 20 years, but paid a big price because of procrastination, na ujeuri, na arrogance, which has got no meaning, which has got no economic meaning. So, you see, sometimes say, mimi siwezi kaa kwa bedsitter. Mimi start from bedsitter as you move upwards. That's why I started. Now I'm not living in a bedsitter. In fact, there's my daughter is got a job the other day, and she's looking for a house. She got a bedsitter somewhere, and I said, Dad, that room is too small. Why? Because she was used to a room. Now she's going to pay for it. The room is too small, but they're asking for money. So what am I saying here? Use the opportunity you have as a young man, a young woman, access loans as much as you can, invest prudently. Then one day, when you look back, you'll not say what I'm saying here. Now, as I stare into retirement, the question is, do I have enough wealth to sustain my life and that of my wife? Because later on in life, it will be you and your wife, you and your husband. So the question is, by the time you hit 60, and all of you are going to hit 60 sooner or later, will you have used affordable credit in Waumini Sacco to prepare a strong economic retirement foundation that will take you for as long as God gives you life? Let me conclude and say, credit access and best utilization at appropriate time creates investments that produce wealth long into retirement. And for those of you who are still working, listen to me. When you are employed, the money is sweet. When you are employed, the money creates some comfort there. You think that money will be there for forever, but sooner or later, the tap will be closed. When the tap is closed, if you had used credit from Waumini Sacco well, you will not regret. So what am I saying? In other words, mobilize savings, huge savings in the Sacco, access loans prudently, invest the same, and create multiple income streams that support you long into your retirement. And I also need to add, let the Sacco not be the one pushing you to increase your savings. There was a time I could even save 10,000 shillings per month when I was employed. But I said, anytime the Sacco said increase, we used to carry placard, not my money, not my money. Yeah, you resist. But now looking back, I say, if only I was clever enough, if only nobody should tell you to increase your savings. Just increase, because that money is yours. That money will come for you at the most appropriate and needy time. Save as much, even as you take loans 3 times or 4 times. Those who are under 40, if you are listening to me here, those who are under 40 now, do not blame anybody for poverty. By the time you hit 60, you have got every opportunity to mobilize your savings now, to take affordable credit now, to get the best advice on how and where to invest, and increase your wealth portfolio, so that by the time you hit 60, you'll be smiling all the way to the bank or to the Sacco. I end my presentation. Over to you, Nugu.
Wow, 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 wow. That has been something. Donge. Eh? Bona Donge, you have taken us through, and I'm sure our members have gained so much. Because you have said that when you are under 40, you should not blame anybody for your poverty, because you are the background. If any poverty approaches you, you are to blame, not your parents, not where you grew up. Because most of the time we do that. Then you have also talked about retirement, that we should prepare for our retirement early, so that when that time comes, you have enough wealth for not only yourself, but also for your family. You have told us, because they say you should not be there to make all the mistakes on your own, because life is too short. You have taken us through the mistakes that you made, the successes that you made, especially that part of procrastination, which we do. If there is an opportunity, let us not procrastinate. Let us take advantage. You have gone through on the investments that we can make. We can do poultry, dairy, we can invest in money market if it is more lucrative than our SACCO, but more especially we should invest in our SACCO. You have also gone to an extent of telling us that we should invest in real estate, if only it is bringing more returns than the fixed deposit or the money market. You have also repeated over and over again that we should save consistently, we should borrow wisely and pay promptly. You have said we should save consistently, and then you have also challenged that the 1,000 that we have as the minimum should not be at that. But as a SACCO, we just have that as a minimum, which means we can save as much as we can in terms of deposits on a monthly basis. And then, of course, borrow wisely and pay promptly. In borrowing wisely, you have told us that we should ensure that we invest where we get returns. We should invest where we get returns. And you have also said that there is a thin line when we borrow. Either uomoke ama uchomeke. For those who burn their fingers or burn themselves with loans, like an example that you showed us of somebody who was having fun with credit, is saying pesa utas. We have gained so much, Bwana Jekon Donge. This has been wonderful. So in our next session, maybe we will start with a Q&A, and I'll ask our Honorable Martin Kioko to take us through, because we have had discussions with our consultants, and we have had sharing on cybersecurity and the remarks from the board. So maybe our brother Honorable Kioko, CPA, you will maybe have question and answers. Maybe before our facilitator takes a cup of water, we can ask him questions, because he has been the main person of the day, so that again now we delve to those other questions so that he can answer us and then rest as we also take the other questions. So any questions about his presentation, his experience at the cooperative bank, and there's one thing I've liked. He worked in the bank, but he's encouraging us not to take loans from the bank. At 20% or over 20%, we will be very, very, sorry to use that word, unwise to take loan from the bank with those particular high interest. As I've seen some of us comment in the chat box that the SACCO is good, shida ni guarantors. But again, we have answered that you do not only need guarantors, you can take loan and secure them with collaterals, with the title deeds, with so many things that you have besides the guarantors. Guarantors is just one of those options. So let us not go to the bank, the microfinance, and those other things like Shylocks, where we will burn our fingers for sure. Let us get affordable credit, because in our SACCO, you are the member. Even from the revenue that we collect, we will be part of those who share on those particular profits. So I will allow our brother, Honorable Martin Kioko, CPA, to take us through the question and answers. And maybe we'll request that we first delve with our consultant before we go to the other questions. Karibu sana, CPA Kioko.
Thank you so much, Bwana Moderator, CPA Marcelinus Ounde. Thank you so much, our facilitator. In our language of Kenyans, we would say, you have really killed it. And I'm very sure that all the members who are keen to listen I've really gained a lot. Members, as the moderator has mentioned, is our time to ask the questions that we have generated as the presentation was being done. Is a time to bridge any gaps that are there. As I said during our welcoming remarks, we said we are here to learn together so that we can become better together. And I'm so happy that the presenter has made it very clear how to build a strong and a good circle. I picked that we can only do this by having quality members. And as we continue having this education, we can ask, how would I be a quality member? It definitely is knowing what I need to know and applying that in my engagements. So as we look, there has been so many questions that have come on the chat box. I wish to thank all the members who have sent. And for your information, we have all our managers here. We have our CEO. All the questions have been noted. So many of the questions have been responded. I just request that you can check on the chat box if your question has been responded to. And today we would like to encourage live questions. So I'm encouraging you to prepare. You can just, we have all the managers, credit, FOSA, debt recovery, ICT, and every other. And therefore your questions will be responded. But definitely we have constraint of time. You should not worry, because the facilitator may be going today, but the rest of us remain. And all the questions will be followed up from your chats. You can also ask your questions through the other social media. And in our other engagements, these questions can be responded to. But before I get the first person to ask the question, I wanted just to look at a few of the questions, just to highlight while thanking many of you who have raised questions. The very first person who raised a question was Jenaide Juguna, I believe I pronounced well. He was asking about paying a lump sum by Mzalendo. I'm not sure whether that has been responded, but it's very much acceptable. Our system recognizes one as a dormant member if you have not made any contributions for 6 months. That can be attested. But if you pay and you communicate that you are paying for the whole year or for a particular period of time, then that is going to be noted. But it's encouraged, you can be encouraged that if it's possible, even if you are paying for a certain period of time, it's good to communicate to the office, and therefore you are not considered to be dormant. There is one question by Esther, by Joyce, sorry. Yes, a very important question that I feel obliged to respond to, even as we now wait to get the others, asking about the effective interest rate for our loans, including all the fees. As a CPA, I felt I can respond to this. And I wanted to put you on some practical way of knowing what our effective. It has been responded that our interest rate is 1% for most of our loans. And if you want to know the effective interest rate, you'll actually find that we talk about 12% per year, but the effective interest rate could be lower. And a simple calculation is this. If you mind doing this, Joyce, assume you take a loan of 1 million payable in 4 years, that is 48 months. We know the simple calculation for interest is principal times rate times time. So to get the rate, you will get the amount of interest that you are paid, divide by the principal, and divide by the time. So if you pay 27,000 per month multiplied by 48, you are going to get 1,296,000. So the interest amount will be 296. Just divide that by 1 million and divide by 4. You get something like 7.4%. That may not be very easy for many of you, and therefore instead of 12%, you'll find that the effective interest rate will be something to do with 7.4%. This theme, we can give priority to what we have been educated on today, and many of the other operational questions our managers emails through the email that has been shared. You can make calls and you'll be responded to. So if we can base more on what we have been taught, and therefore there is somebody with the name HMD Global, yes. Sorry, that's a name that appears. You have a question, kindly unmute yourself and ask the question. Are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Ali Christopher. Na mimi ni mgeni, ndio nimeanza hii mwaka. Nilikuwa nauliza question. Kuna ile namba niliregister nayo wakati nilikuwa nafungua hiyo hii sako, lakini ikafika hiyo namba ikapotea. Kuna vile nitaweza badilisha namba ingine mpya. Question ya pili, for example, sasa upate huu mwezi kuna vile umefinyika. Tuseme sasa uruke hii mwezi uende sasa next month ulipe kama una save 1000, ukifika next month hii mwezi utalipa ulipe 2000. Hiyo pesa watachua ni unalipia hii mwezi na hiyo mwezi ingine. Hiyo ndio maswali yangu mawili. Asante.
Asante, Christopher. So the first question is about the number you registered. Nambari ya simu ambayo uliregister nayo na ni kama ikabadilika. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kumpatia our ICT manager Timothy aweze kujibu swali hilo.
Asante kwa hiyo swali. Ndio, unaweza badilisha hiyo namba ya simu. Ile kitu tunahitaji kwako ni your current ID copy. Pia tutahitaji statement ya M-Pesa yenye inaonyesha hiyo namba ni yako na umekuwa ukiitumia, na kuna fomu utajaza ya kubadilisha hiyo namba. Ukishafanya hivyo, tutabadilisha hiyo namba na tutaweka ile namba unatumia kwa wakati huu. Asante.
Asante Timothy. Pia alikuwa na swali lingine ambalo anasema akilipa 1000 na abadilishe aweze kulipa 2000 itakuwaje? Itakuwa inakubalika? Na hilo swali ningeomba CEO aweze kujibu.
Asante sana member. Ile inahitajika when you are depositing, you want to deposit in advance, what you need to do is you come to the SACCO and ensure that you give the information that you are depositing 2,000 shillings, and this should be able to cater for the coming 2 months. Even if you want to do for the whole year, you can as well specify that. Normally our system allows for us to note down so that when you come for a loan, you shall not be able to, it will be easy for you to access a loan. So hiyo inawezekana. Asante.
Asante sana Bwana CEO. Pia
kuna swali ambalo ningetaka ujibu kuhusu
Remember, we are in the business of giving loans, and Mr. Donge has put it. We must be able to know the people who are borrowing, and you must know that this person has properly been guaranteed. Now, when a loan form comes to the SACCO with the copies of the IDs, we know that this applicant has interacted with the guarantors that have given those IDs. Now, if you start using information inside that we have inside for our respective members, that's how fraud will come in. So we will not encourage that. So we normally ask for fresh ID so that we know that there was consent from the guarantors that this member should be able to use the respective guarantee that they've issued. Thank you.
Asante, Bwana CEO, once again. Members, as I said, we would like to get the voice questions. Tungetaka maswali yaulizwe kwa sauti, na tunaye mwingine anaitwa Bimon ambaye alikuwa anataka kuuliza swali. So I would like to invite you, Bimon, if you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Bimon, are you there? Sorry, we are reading the names as they appear on labels against your number. So if your phone is registered as Bmon, B-M-O-N, kindly unmute yourself and ask the question. In the meantime, any other person with a question can just unmute and ask.
Can you hear me?
And as we wait for that, I can.
Can you hear me?
Seems somebody is on online. Can you go ahead and ask your question?
I had written it in the chat. Just remind us the M-Pesa details for depositing, for both deposits and for share capital, and also confirm the minimum for being able to receive dividends.
Thank you so much. I would like again to ask Timothy to respond to that question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the question. So when doing M-Pesa deposits, there are 3 ways that you can do. One is the through use of our pay bill, which is 700, 100. So when you use the pay bill, you have to provide a keyword. The keyword consists of all of our products. That is the savings products and credit products. The list is available on our website. For example, if you are doing deposits, when using pay bill, you'll put a pay bill number is 700, 100. Then the member number, the account number is your member number, followed by the keyword. That is D for deposits, S for share capital, DL for development loan, SEL for self-guaranteed loan. So there are many. However, if you are not able to remember that, you can use our mobile app, which will give you the codes. You select the service you want. If you want to do a savings, it will give you the codes already. So you just select with the options given. And the same is also available in the USSD, that is *346#. So if you can't remember those keywords, when you use the mobile app or the USSD, they're already pre-listed there. So you just get what you are paying for. And if you have loans, they'll already be listed. So your option is only to select. Thank you. Still, you can pay using the portal, internet banking portal. Again, when you log in and you're able to use the service, all the accounts are already pre-listed. So you just select what you want. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Timothy. I believe that is well taken, member. And as we wait for any other calls, we can also look at some of the questions that are on the chat box. And I would like to request there was a question about getting back defaulted loan. Somebody was asking, in case I have been charged for a loan that I guaranteed, am I able to get my money back? And I would like to request our credit manager to respond to what happens if you've been charged for a defaulted amount and the defaulter pays back. Are you able to get back your money? Yes, I would like to ask the debt recovery manager to respond to that as we get other questions. And as the debt recovery manager gets onto that, there is another question about if you've been dormant, if I remain inactive, and this is from somebody, Mama, it's written like that. If I'm not able to speak, okay, what happens if I have not been active for months? What happens if I've not been? You want to activate yourself, so that question will also be answered. Meanwhile, debt recovery.
Dear member, there is a question that was asked that how do I get money back just in case I want to take a defaulter to court? As a circle, we help members. We facilitate the member who wants to escalate the case. You are requested to visit any nearest branch or mini circle branch, or email us, or you can call us. We have the recovery letters that we write after we have deducted your deposits, which acts as evidence. We are also available as a recovery team to act as witnesses in a court of law. So you feel free, contact us, and then we see how to help the situation. Also, additionally, if you know where this work, the defaulter lives or works, you can contact us so that we assign also that recovery case to one of our external debt collectors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bwana Musa. And members, anything to do with debt recovery, loans that were defaulted, you had guaranteed, our managers are always available. You have access to them, and you can always get in touch. I would like to invite two more members for live questions, and one is David Putorek. David, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you, our moderator. My name is David Tuitoek, the delegate for Machakos Diocese. I have one concern from my unit. They had one of our members, I think one had a huge guarantorship. He had guaranteed somebody the money. Of course, he lost his deposit, and later there were reports that they were recovered, but they have never received any in terms of return it back. And I think in part of our meetings, we were able to realize that their debt recovery team did an amazing work and some recoveries were done, but it has not been trickled back to the member. And yet they lost a huge chunk. Then the other second member is that he guaranteed a member fill the form, and the amount he had guaranteed that member is 70,000. But upon logging into their system or to their account, he met a rude shock that the same member now that he had guaranteed for 273,000, an addition of 201,000. and yet from the messaging he received even from the SACCO that so and so you've guaranteed 70,000. So why this kind of discrepancy, and how can that member be assisted? Thank you.
Once again, thank you, David, for those questions. And our debt recovery is going to respond to one of the questions, and our credit manager will respond to the other. So I would like to once again welcome our debt recovery manager, Bwana Musa, to respond to one of the questions, and then our credit manager, Judith, will take over. Thank you.
Thank you, our member from Machakos, for your question. One, you have talked about a defaulter who refunded the money, and it has not reflected in the accounts of guarantors. What you do, we will ask you to give us a call. We really need to capture the membership number of the defaulter so that we can refund that money instantly. We have, from a recovery department, because of technology, we normally receive money even when we are sleeping through the MSACCO and through the bank, and we may not be able to track. So through your intervention and intervention from the guarantors, you are asked to keep
Yeah.
So remember, as we check on the machines to have the question responded, I think we are all alert to the responses, and I want to acknowledge that we still have many questions which we may not be able to respond in full, but I want to assure you that everything is taken into considerations. These questions are not being left here on the charts. We shall be making follow-ups through our managers. So in case of anything that is really burning, you still have the opportunity to call the office or call any one of us, and we shall be able to respond. Back to you, Bwana Musa.
Sorry for that technical hitch. Member from Machakos, I was responding to your question. You had asked about the refund. The refund, we really need to capture the membership number of the defaulter, then we'll be able to refund the money proportionately to the guarantors. And number two, you had raised a question about raised a question about your unit.
Yes. Can I repeat the question? Or you can remember? It is, yeah, let me remind, the question was, one of my members guaranteed a fellow member of 70,000. He submitted the document, he signed. He also received the message from the SACCO that so and so you've guaranteed member A, B, and C this amount. But when the same member logged into his account, he discovered he had now guaranteed 273,000. A deficit or an increment of 201,000 or 1 and 3 and 2 and 3. Just
thank you. I will allow the credit manager to respond to you what could have happened.
Thank you, David, for your question. In a normal situation, when a member applies for a loan and he has indicated the amount that is guaranteed, that is what should appear in the guarantor's account. So in this case, you will allow us to check from our records to get that loan file, and then we will confirm what could have happened, and then we respond back to you.
Thank you so much, Judith and Musa, for responding to those questions. We shall have only one caller, and we shall close the questions and answer session. not because we don't want to respond to the questions, but just due to time constraint. And that caller is Ekale. So Ekale, be ready to ask your question. But just before that, for the two questions that have been asked, members, this is a good forum, but this is an education forum. Some of the questions, really, you may not need to wait until we have this forum. Be ready to just call the office, like that case of the amount guaranteed being different from the amount indicated on the loan. That is an immediate thing, just to call the office and correction done. So I want to encourage that anytime something happens that is not in line with what you expect, anytime you guarantee an SMS is sent to you, you need to confirm whether the amount indicated on the SMS is in line with what you have indicated. Other instances, members don't indicate the amount on the form they wish to guarantee. What that means is that you are ready to guarantee as much as you are able to guarantee. So there is need to always indicate how much you are willing to guarantee that member, and there will not be any problem. So I would like to welcome Ekale for our last voice question, and we shall appreciate. Kindly unmute yourself, Ekale, and go ahead with the question.
Hello. Now, my question was, I know the Waumini Sacco was initially meant for Catholic-based institutions, members or employees. Now, for those who started first in those institutions and then later on proceeded to other institutions, I think the major issue has been you have to keep on paying these Sacco deductions manually. Is it possible for Waumini Sacco also to consider that as one of the things that might be contributing to loan defaulters? Because when you get money, you are tempted to use it for any other reasons. So I think, is it possible? This is my question now. Is it possible for them to integrate the deductions from the employer side? If you are notified that I've moved from this institution to this one, are they able to contact the employer and then say, maybe Ekale has this and these loans with us, we need it to be deducted from the pay point?
Once again, thank you so much, Ekale, for that question. Our CEO will be responding to that question, and as he prepares to respond to it, I would also ask him to respond to another question by Pauline. What's the maximum amount one can have as share capital? And if a member defaults, can the loan be recovered from guarantor account? All right, you will respond to those. Welcome, Bwana CEO.
Thank you, Bwana Ekale. What you need to do is that you need to communicate whenever you make a move to another employer. You need to communicate with the SACCO. The SACCO has got special arrangements with the units within the Catholic fraternity that we normally create a check-off system. So the most important thing is to communicate, then you see what's the best way you can be able to handle you and assist you in terms of the monthly repayments. I know there's something we've been working on to do with the government. This is the check-up with the government-related institutions. This is not yet materialized. We are still working on it. Once we are successful, we shall be able to communicate on the same. In terms of the question relating to the maximum one can have with the share capital, you can have not more than 20% of the paid up share capital. Currently, we are talking of around 420 million. So no, actually 600 million. So if you took 20% of that, you are saying not more than 120 million. So you got room to grow your share capital up to 120 million. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Bwana CEO, for elaborating on that. And members, as I mentioned, we have come to a close of the live questions. Again, I want to assure you that the many questions that we raised will be responded. There are two ways of responding, either getting back to you individually, or these questions in form every time when we are having a theme for the webinar, A number of these questions will be responded during our webinar sessions. I'm very sure, and I've not gotten questions directly to our facilitator of today. I think that is a credit to him, that the teaching was so clear that members have responded, and personally, I can testify to that. Many of the questions that were asked, even as the program started, I've heard many of them being answered during a presentation, and therefore it's not a question of we are not asking because we have not understood. We are not asking because it was very clear to us. However, I think it is important that as an investor, you must have many questions at the back of your mind. I'm just reminded that Maurice had asked a question directly to the facilitator, and much as I had stopped the live questions, I would want to request Maurice to just pose your question, and the facilitator can respond to it. Maurice, if you can unmute yourself, kindly. Mheshimiwa Kioko, maybe I can read the question.
Thank you, moderator.
Maurice asked, or the comment was, thank you, Bwana Donge, for that elaborate presentation. And so his question was this morning, what can you say about some few members who take loan knowing pretty well that they will pay the loan and thus intentionally burdening the SACCO? What can you say about some few members who take the loan knowing pretty well that they may not pay the loan and thus intentionally burdening the SACCO?
Thank you, and we are going to give our facilitator an opportunity to respond to that question.
Okay, thank you for that brilliant question. In fact, going on, increasingly more Kenyans are not reliable. The picture they present to you when they want you to guarantee them is not the picture that they are once your signature has been appended and the loan has been disbursed. That is why tunasemanga character. Before you append your signature, don't just append your signature because somebody has got a big title, because somebody is born again or whatever. It is good to know who this person is, because many people have been let down by the people they thought would not do such things to them. So you append your signature and guarantee a loan of 500, and this guy pays the loan for about 1 year, and then the other 2 years, the loan goes into arrears, and before you know it, the loan is bad. Just like you have asked, there are people who deliberately say to themselves, I am going here, I am going to get this loan, I will be a very good loanee, I will service the loan for the first 6 months, then I will start defaulting. The SACCO may not know the character of the person you have guaranteed. It is you who is appending your signature who should know. In fact, I normally tell people, before you append your signature, you need to ask yourself 3 questions. Do I know Donge? You should get an answer, yes. Do I know Donge? Yes. Do I know Donge? Yes. Unless you get 3 yeses, don't. If you get only 2 and 1 no, don't. And I know the people normally say, if I don't guarantee people, then who will guarantee me? I would rather I hold on from getting a loan, but append my signature to a man or a woman who will give me a headache. Because I train a lot of SACCOs, increasingly more defaulters are putting a heavy financial burden on the men and women who genuinely or innocently guaranteed them. It is not very easy to know the character of a human being, lakini jaribu kidogo kuchimba kidogo ujue huyu mama ama huyu ndugu, what is his or her character. But as the question says,
There are men and women who deliberately come and get a loan, lakini at the back of their mind, 6 months I repay, after that I don't. What that means is, because your signature was telling the SACCO, in the event the loan is defaulted, come to me and let me pay that loan. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I also like what the SACCO saying, that they've been encouraging members to use other forms of security to secure their loan. But I also want to send a warning biblically. When you deliberately know that you're not going to service a loan, you are like a thief. And never think you have run away from it. The tears of the man or the woman servicing your loan will not go unpunished. So don't punish men and women who went out of their way and allowed you or enabled you to access a SACCO loan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our facilitator. And I believe that question, you have just done justice to that question. Members, I was in the process of making a conclusion for this session about question and answer, and I was saying, definitely a serious investor would have questions. Questions before you start, questions when you are in it, and even questions when you exit. As the facilitator put it, when you decide to take a loan, you have a plan. You take it, you implement the plan, and afterwards you evaluate and you are able to say whether the plan was accomplished in a way that you build your wealth. I want to encourage ourselves that the many questions, the serious questions that all of us would have, and based on the many questions that have been asked on chat box, which we may not able to ask, would be, if I do my deposits with Baobin SACCO, are they safe? How long will it take me to start benefiting? Those are questions asked. And our answer is, of course, after saving for 6 months. When I get the loan, is it going to help me achieve the goal that I have? And if I guarantee anyone and they fail to pay, am I going to suffer? What should I do? All those are very valid questions. But my conclusion to all these questions, it's possible to say, because of those uncertainties, that I'm likely to lose my money if it is not well managed. I'm likely to lose my money to guarantors. I'm likely to lose my money if the SACCO doesn't do well. All those are valid questions. But the response to it is twofold. One, I should just avoid being a member of the SACCO. And two, I should go ahead and take the risk. And I think today we've learned a lot about investment, and there's no way you can build wealth without takers who are ready to save, take affordable loans, invest in ways that will be able to get returns, and build others. So we encourage members to be quality members and encourage those that they bring to be quality members. And for guarantorship, it's always important to have a team of friends, people you can trust, and people that they can trust you to be able to do all what you do. So many of the questions which I just wanted to mention, just scan through to appreciate those who sent them, among many others. I believe they have been responded, and I would like you to get to the chat box, see many of the answers that have been given. And in case your question has not been asked, just send an email, make a call to the office, and all will be responded. There was a question to do location of Ahari land that has been responded. That was from Esther and few other members. Buying plots for members by John Muteti. John Muteti, you've received your response that we finance members to buy the land, as we are not allowed as a SACCO to buy land for members. Deposits and shares. Christine Kerubo was asking, deposits and shares, which one are used for accessing loans? We consider both deposits and shares, but definitely you build more on your deposits for purposes of taking loans, because the deposits would act as guarantee for your loans. Then financing land buying and using it as security, that was from James. it was responded very well that security can be used. And James, you have been encouraged to apply to buy the Fahari land, because when you apply to buy a loan to buy Fahari land, you will not have any hassles of looking for the security. The title deed, which the SACCO will give, will act as security for that. Location of a senior land by somebody, Mwatu. I believe that again has been responded. If not, just call the office and you can be helped. The Waumini Hub, the ICT manager, Bwana Timothy, that has been responded to. You need to download the app from the Play Store. That was from Nyamboke Edwin. Loan without guarantors. Yes, there are many loans you can get, Bwana Juma. You can get many loans without guarantors. You again need just to get to the credit manager or the CEO, and many of them, I believe that has also been responded to. We have many that you don't need guarantors. Then protection against insider threat. That was from Jerry Kangede. Our facilitator has responded very well. And ICT presentation, if you go back to that presentation, you will see the many ways that our SACCO is taking care of members so that they don't find themselves with SIM swaps and many of the threats that are there. Plot with less than 800 member said you only have 500 Kenya shillings. Again, how do you finance your assets? You can buy cash. Waumini SACCO is available to offer credit for any amount that you do not have. These are just a sample of the many questions that came, and I believe members, you've been able to get the answers as you may have wished. And again, as I mentioned, we remain available to respond to that. I would like to end this session at this juncture and return to the moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, CPA Martin Kioko, for taking us through the question and answers question. And as you have said, most of the questions have been answered in our chat box. And if you missed any of the presentation, we'd like to repeat that the recording will be uploaded in our YouTube channel, Waumini SACCO. And we will also be, all the managers are here, and selected board members who will be able to take your questions before they retire for the day for today, if you must be answered today. So everything has been a success for today. And as we proceed, we are left with a few items. Our time is so far much spent, but I would like to invite Honorable Peter Kimani Nginya to do the closing remarks as we close this session.
Thank you, moderator, for the day for this opportunity. I want to also thank you, members who are following us online. Today we have learned a lot, and in a few words, I can simply say that today we have learned more of exercising prudence with our technology, with our credit, with our guarantorship, and many other areas. Just if I may highlight a few highlights from the various presenters. Today we have learned about cybersecurity, our roles in cybersecurity, the SACCO role in protecting members, and also how we can mitigate cybercrime collectively, both the member and the SACCO. We have also learned the do's and the don'ts, so that I hope, members, you had your pen and paper and you are able to jot down some of these or all of them. Some of this content can also be shared online, so that in future we can review them and see where we are making mistakes and improve. Remember, our cyber a matter of is a collective responsibility between us as members and the SACCO as an institution. On leveraging on affordable credit through our very able facilitator, Mr. Jacones Donge. We have learned how to grow a strong circle, and you bear me witness that with a strong circle, even as members would not fear coming for credit because tunajua pesa iko. But with a weak circle, you'll always be wondering, pesa itapatikana? So it's always good that we also have that ability or urge to grow our circle. We have also learned the good and bad credit foundations and the habits that make us not achieve our targets. Also, our facilitator helped us to learn how to create wealth, and he gave us various options. I'll not delve into that. He also talked about prudent credit management, and he gave us numerous examples how I wish we were able to get that. He also told us about the do's and the don'ts of credit. And I'm sure members, you've written these things down so that they can be always guiding us when we want to access credit. He also talked to us about guarantors. And the issue of guarantors has been a big thorn in Waumini Sacco and many other circles. And as long as we lend and receive money as the Sacco lends and the members receive, we'll be having these defaulters. And therefore, we need to be careful with how we just put our signature so that we don't cry at the time we are hit hard by these defaulters. Some do it knowingly, while others, it is because of circumstances beyond their control. And for this, we pray for God's intervention. But for those who have the ability, it's not right that you let other members suffer, knowing very well that this money was supposed to be used. And that's why we have to utilize very well the credit we get from loans. But Johannes also talked about investment, and he gave us examples of good and bad investments. And also, he gave us a clarion call to leverage on Waumini Sacco products and services now for a brighter future. He also cautioned us not to regret in the future that we missed an opportunity in Waumini Sacco. How I wish each one of us and those others will not ever regret that there was this product that I never utilized, and I wish I knew I could have done ABCD. This is the time to take that bold step with the courage, with the faith. We are Christians, and take that opportunity and soldier on with it so that you can create your other revenue streams. Actually, in short, we need to look at how we can increase our savings. We need to see how we can plow back so that we grow our deposits and share capital for better returns, and how we can also take loans and create other revenue streams. Dear members, allow me to now bring to you the vote of thanks. I would like to most sincerely thank God for giving us this opportunity to meet again here online in this webinar. We only plan about the webinar, but God is the enabler, because we all trust that at the beginning of everything, we should put God first. So we thank him very much for enabling this activity to run through all the way from the beginning to the end. I also want to thank our able facilitator here with me, Jacones Donge, and I can assure you that you exceeded our expectation. Those examples were very live with us. They are examples that you can relate with. And I can tell you that for sure, personally, I've learned a lot. And some of the things, if I put in practice, I'm sure they are life-changing. I want to thank you, members. You know, you are our bosses. You are our enabler. You are the people who make this circle successful. I want to thank our target. I want to most sincerely thank you for the many things you are also bringing to us. I also to thank you for the very interactive session and for making our chat on the side. I can see it. It's very, very active, And I also want to thank you for following us through the various channels and ensuring that you also challenge us so that we can also up to speed with what is current. I want also to thank the delegates who have mobilized members to attend this webinar. I want to thank those delegates who are doing a lot in enrollment, who are doing a lot in educating our members and educating one another in the WhatsApp group and many other channels. Thank you so much. I want to thank the entire board for creating an enabling environment so that this education can take place. It has not been there in the last many years, started about 3-4 years back, and we are growing increasingly as we move on in the years. I've seen a great growth. Today, I think we had over 600 people following in various channels. So you can see we are actually growing. And I know there are many others who will follow us even after, once this is uploaded. I want to thank our staff, the people who sit where the rubber meets the road, the people who serve our members with a lot of passion, with a lot of dedication. I can see some of them here today. Today is their resting day, but they chose also to be with us. And if from the look of their faces, I see bright faces, that tells me these are people who are happy to serve our members. Members, how I wish we can also engage with them very well when we meet them, when we come to our offices, sometimes even with grievances. Let us also be a bit understanding, but I want to thank them most sincerely for today's work. They arranged this session. They have been preparing the last few days to make sure that this webinar runs successfully. Thank you very much, our able staff. I also want to thank the various presenters who have presented today for the various presentations that have been brought, be it our staff in the Q&A, be it our moderator. I know the moderator, sometimes they miss that chance to be thanked, be it our Q&A session leader, and all present. I want to thank all of you for making this a success. Now, back to you, moderator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Peter Kimani Nginya, for those closing remarks. And I'm seeing there are some questions, especially by somebody, Mary, who said her question has not been qualitatively answered. We will ensure that that one is done. One of our staff is digging through to ensure that your question has been answered. Just not to forget where the consultant left it at, that if you take a loan with the intent of defaulting, Kama is not a very good person. The tears of those people who signed for you will not go unanswered. So let us ensure that we journey with our members. If you have taken a loan, ensure that you pay promptly. Because the time is so far much spent, imetuonyesha kisogo, I will wish that we close there. And according to our program, we will request our very own board member, Cyprian CPA, to close with a word of prayer. Karibu, CPA Cyprian.
Thank you, our moderator. As we have heard, it was a very interesting session of webinar for members. Most of them have learned, and that should not go without some action on it in terms of savings. Let have the positive attitude towards the circle and also patronize the products. Now I request we believe and we pray. Let us pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Almighty Lord, we thank you for this wonderful day which you have given to us, Lord. We thank you for our families. We thank you for our members. We thank you for the board and also the secretariat and our facilitator for the day. We thank you for everything which they have presented, Lord. We pray that those presentation to be in our hearts so that we can take our circle the next level. We pray for empowerment to our members. We pray for the zeal and also the passion so that they can plan well when taking loans and patronizing the SACCO product and even in their savings, Lord. Give them the wisdom and the mindset that they will be able even to do more and grow their wealth, and as well as empower and market even the SACCO to other corners of the country. We pray this through Jesus Christ, our Lord, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.